doesn't get much more northwest than Acme, Washington, a tiny town in the Cascade foothills 25 miles east of Bellingham.
Okay, we're going to check the bricks on this.
But this time of year, on a small farm at the edge of town, it looks and smells a lot like New England.
It's going to be a real pretty syrup today, about a medium amber. There it goes. It's okay, I'm going up.
Neil McLeod has been up since 3 o'clock this morning, turning sap from big leaf maple trees into maple syrup.
The closer it gets to actual syrup, the less steam you're going to have.
10 years ago, no one thought this was possible.
I think I've taken it from being impossible, not just at a hobby level. This year I've proven that it can be done at a commercial level. I'm going to go up to 220.4 degrees.
This year, Neil's Big Leaf Maple Syrup Company will produce hundreds of gallons that is quickly snapped up by chefs and consumers alike.
We're selling out as fast as we make it, pretty much.
But Neil's company and its high-tech sugar house didn't happen overnight.
You want just a little bit coming at a time, and then
It's taken the better part of a decade for him to figure it out.
So Neil, how did you learn how to do all this?
YouTube and books, and a lot of mistakes along the way.
Neil found out making syrup on the West Coast is nothing like the way they do it back east. The sap flows here are more spread out, and the sap you do get has about half the sugar.
First year, I had such a hard time getting any sap, and all of a sudden I drilled a tree, and it came pouring out. That year we made maybe a half a pint of kind of weak syrup, but we got really good at it, within a couple of years.
That kind of just grew from that moment. 2,500 taps I think we have right now in a couple different locations. We have a sugar maple tap.
Neil's son Devin took us to the woods nearby to show us how it all works.
We'll tap each tree. That all comes back over these main lines, which then collect right here.
Miles of food-grade lines lead to holding tanks outside the sugar house.
If you're looking at a single tree, it's like watching paint dry because you can see the little bubbles slowly moving. But you get down to the end where they've all come to a concentrated point, and there's some days where it's just, it's pouring in.
The sap is then put through a reverse osmosis machine that filters out pure water, leaving the sap more concentrated. That way you don't have to boil it as long.
Okay, you ready to try some?
I have to be honest here. What you're about to see
Careful, it'll be hot.
is what I've been waiting for ever since I heard about Neil.
That is fantastic.
It is good, isn't it?
It's buttery and toffee and
Exactly.
gorgeous. It's hard to believe that came out of a maple tree.
Here we go.
From here, the syrup is filtered and bottled by Neil's nephew, Andrew.
So every batch that you do, does it taste a little bit different from every other batch?
That is Neil's wife, Delight,
I'm going to be so hopped up on sugar after this.
Oh boy, yeah, don't take your blood sugar, okay?
who takes us next door to the kitchen to try some samples.
This one is medium dark,
Oh, that's good.
and this one isn't molassesy, but it's really thick.
I also tried it in coffee, which was amazing.
Cheers.
Today's like a perfect day.
That reputation is what caught the attention of Kent Weiler.
This one's running.
He's a forest products researcher at the University of Washington.
They're all running great.
He applied for and received a federal grant from the USDA to study big leaf maple syrup production.
We're trying to collect enough information about how sap flows and when it flows and how to take care of it and how to produce syrup that other landowners in the state can use that data to make decisions.
It's too early to tell if more Washington landowners will get into the maple syrup business, but Kent says right now there is no doubt it's good for the environment.
This is a way for a landowner to keep their forests as forests.
When it comes to the value of these maple trees, it's not just about the syrup. They take carbon out of the atmosphere. Their huge canopies help cool the earth. They also provide food for birds and bees. And it's that idea that Neil and his family hope catches on.
It's an exciting, thought that you can profit from agroforestry in a different way than cutting the forest down.
So where do you hope this industry goes?
I hope it becomes an industry. You know, maybe 20 years from now they put a big bronze statue of me out in the woods. That's what I'm aiming at.
It all started here.
And there I am looking down.
In Acme, Washington, Mark Wright, King 5 News.